Hello dear viewer, Chaos Theory expert Murdoch X here to talk to you about my PlayStation 2 collection update for October of 2018. We've got 6 games to get through, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Risk Global Domination. This is a decent port of a crappy game. Risk is a crappy game. Anything that says Milton Bradley on the side is a game for children. On top of being a children's game, the AI here seems to want the player to win. Whenever an opponent had a choice between attacking me or another AI player, it almost always chose the AI player, making winning this game a breeze. The hardest thing about Risk Global Domination is that there's no way to turn off the animations. You can button mash to skip most things, but I'd rather play a quick game that doesn't end with a blister on my thumb. I enjoy tabletop games like Lords of Waterdeep, Euphoria, and Caverna, so I feel obliged to talk trash about games like this. If you like Risk though, you'll probably like this port. It moves at a steady pace, the animations are nice, and if you play single player, you'll probably win. On the other hand, if you want a challenge, I'd suggest trying to lose. I think that might actually be harder than winning. 50 Bulletproof. This is a first-person shooter that was developed up to the it doesn't seem broken phase. If you are a 50 Cent fan, this game has loads of features for you, but if you are not, then you're in for a dud. At first glance, this looks like a fully fleshed out game, but after about 10 minutes of playing, everything begins to feel stale as you realize this game has no finesse. Just smash on that trigger and hope for the best. It's too bad, this game seems like it could have been great if it had more time in production, but this will be forever another licensed cash-in title like so many others. Cool Borders 2001. This is a strange game to go back to. I used to play a lot of Cool Borders on the PS1 before the first Tony Hawk game came out, but during the PS2 era it felt like Cool Borders was old and stale. This is likely because the Tony Hawk games were getting better, while Cool Borders just got nicer graphics and some new stages. I must not have been the only one who felt this way, as this is the final Cool Borders game ever released. For being a series published directly by Sony, it's strange that this game was neglected like this. You know what? This has me thinking. We haven't had a good Tony Hawk game in ages either. Is the extreme sports game genre dead? I hope not, but it's been a long time now. World Soccer Winning 11 8 International. I guess I didn't know what to expect from this game, but I was pleasantly surprised. This is one of those titles that's easy to get a grasp on the basics, but you can master the game by digging into the advanced control techniques. If you know how to do a hammer-on or pull off a Guitar Hero, then you'll know what I'm talking about here. I haven't played any of the FIFA games yet, but I am curious how they compare. This is a solid game and it's loads of fun that would be a blast to take the time to master. While researching this game, I noticed that it's one of only 59 PlayStation 2 games that has a score of 90 or higher on Metacritic, earning it a must-play badge, which seems to be a new thing that they've added. Lumines Plus is one of many ports of the original game Lumines Puzzle Fusion for the PSP. It's a block-dropping game with musical elements. There's not a lot to say when it comes to puzzle games like this. It's fun enough, but it gets monotonous. The music is the main draw to this title and shouldn't be underestimated, but for me, gameplay is always first, and this ranks way below classics like Tetris and Dr. Mario. I'd say this is about on par with Pipe Mania for the PS2. Now the final game added to the collection this month, Mercury Meltdown Remix, which was also released on the PSP. In this game, you have to get a certain amount of Mercury to the finish line. It plays like Marble Madness, where you tilt the stage to make the blob of Mercury move around, but has a little bit of Lemmings, as you'll need to rescue a minimum amount of the fluid at the end of the stage. There are different stage elements that can do things to your blob, like split it, combine it, change its color, teleport it, solidify it, attack it, poke it, prod it, and so much more. It's another generic puzzle game, but it's not bad. I do have 2 complaints about this game though. First, the tutorial is frustratingly slow and must be played in order with no skipping around. Second is that the tutorial doesn't do a great job of explaining some of the mechanics. I got stuck for a while because I didn't understand how one of these stage mechanics worked. I got so frustrated that I went back and played through the entire obnoxious tutorial again and still didn't have the answer I wanted. Eventually I figured out what I was doing wrong by trying every possible option in the stage I was stranded on, which made me sort of hate this game that was fun enough up until that moment. The strength of this game is in the amount of stages it has. I played for about 2 hours and only put a small dent into it. If you liked Marble Madness, then this is the next evolution of that style of game. It's not bad, but it's not great. If you need a puzzle game for your PS2, I'd suggest Bombastic or Super Bust-A-Move first. This brings my total up to 541 games out of 1,810, putting me at 29.9% of the way to a complete North American collection. I need 56 more games to get to the 1/3 mark, but I also have a stack of over 30 games that I still haven't played and therefore haven't added to the collection, so we're nearly there. Let's aim for January. I bet we can do it by then. The 1/3 mark, that is, not the 100% mark. I still have some of the big titles to get out of the way, like Blood Will Tell and Haunting Ground. Also, quick update, Rule of Rose has broken the $300 mark for a complete copy of the game. If you want to own this game, you'll need to get it sooner than later. This price keeps going up. You know what's funny, in my last collection update, I just kind of rounded out the number, which this time I didn't round it out as much, so I don't think anyone would have noticed if I hadn't said anything, but my last video says I'm 30% and this video says 29.9%, so that's funny that it worked out that way. But although since I only added 6 new games, I mean that's pretty minuscule out of the 1,810, but it counts. It counts. And hopefully I can make it to that 3rd mark in the next few months. I'll keep you posted.